Welcome, everybody, to episode 32 of Smack Talk here at smarkoutmoment.com. I'm your host, as always, Tony Mango. With me today, Chris Urban and possibly Michael Burhan. We're not too sure yet. He's kind of tied up at the moment, but he's going to try to come in later on in the episode, if not just to make fun of the TNA pay-per-view coming up and to do an outro. We are on not only episode 32, but this is the 200th video for the YouTube channel. And, don't know when we're gonna get to 1,000 for WWE, but we'll figure something out. Let's do a couple hundred more episodes of us complaining about different things, and it'll happen. For right now, we're gonna skip the Ask Him because that's usually Burhan's kind of thing. We're gonna go right into the hot tags. Hot tag number 1: new WWE title belt design according to CM Punk, and it's been leaked. But there's not really a whole lot of talk about it, which is kind of weird. The design right now, I'm thinking it looks a little weird. It looks almost like the side plate as opposed to the main faceplate. You know what I'm talking about? It doesn't have anywhere for their name on it.
Yeah, I have the picture up right in front of me. There's no room for a nameplate. There's no really even color in it. It look like you said, it looks just like the side. It's just the gold
Yeah,
on gold.
it's incredibly bland, and which to an extent isn't that bad, but
Compared to the spinner.
right, and they kept what looks like the stupid little bejeweled parts, which I thought made it look the cheapest out of anything. That was the big complaint that I had of it, was the little rhinestones that they added into it. And
They addressed my big complaint of it actually saying champion and not champ.
yeah, that's one thing that it needed to do.
But I heard that the belt's extremely heavy.
Yeah, Punk was talking about that. It's what was it like? God knows how many extra pounds more than the other one,
Like 20 something extra pounds.
which is really a bad idea, of course, because then that's just more of an annoyance to lug around.
Imagine getting hit with that belt.
Yeah, they're trying to figure out how to get rid of concussions, and they make a belt that if you get hit in the head with it, you die practically. It's like getting hit with an anvil. uh, until until this actually shows up on screen, I'm not going to buy into it 100%. There's a little bit of talk that maybe this isn't 100% what they're going to go with, which I hope it isn't because it doesn't look that great. There's some parts of it that I think is okay. I like how the WWE Championship should have a big WWE logo on it, but it just looks too bland right now. They need to add a little bit of color, like you were saying, and they need to get rid of those rhinestones and replace it with something else. I don't know exactly what because I don't design shit, but uh, you need to have a nameplate on it. You need to have just a little bit of color. You need to make it lighter, and I don't know what the rest of the belt's supposed to look like. And hopefully they don't make it a weird kind of burgundy strap instead of a black one, or something like they've done in the past where they kind of switch it. Like the Intercontinental title has the white strap, which not too much posed, but WWE Championship needs to be black.
Yeah.
Once they went to black, they shouldn't have ever switched.
That's always been my rule.
Right.
Me and Jerome.
Well, that's the first hot tag. Second one we are going to talk about, speaking of people that touching WWE Championship, somebody who is not going to touch the WWE Championship anytime soon is Randy Orton. The suspension is getting a little bit more talk about. Apparently, he's losing between $200,000 and $300,000 from this 60 days that he's going to be out. They're trying to rely on Rey Mysterio to come back soon, who he's got suspensions under his contract and a whole bunch of contract disputes and everything as well, so it's not really that great. They're reluctant to push Orton because of his second suspension, meaning that if he gets suspended one more time, they're going to fire him for at least a year. But it's kind of hostile, is what they're saying. So
that doesn't make sense. I mean, Rey Mysterio was suspended 2 times now, right?
Mm-hmm.
they're going to push Rey Mysterio with Orton gone, but Rey Mysterio has 2 suspensions.
Right, yeah, it's hypocritical of them.
So
They're looking more as it replacing Orton and punishing Orton than it is the logic of the situation.
you have 2 people. Let me. One of them is injury prone and has been suspended 2 times for drugs. The other one is injury prone and has been suspended 2 times for drugs. Let's just keep throwing them back and forth and seeing which one we're going to keep this time.
Right. One of them you can have believably beat anybody on the roster. The other one you have to make up bullshit to
Yeah.
excuse. One of them is older. One of them makes less money won the merchandise, and that one being Orton. But at the same time, he's going to be around here longer, and you locked him into a long contract, which Rey Mysterio doesn't have. He has the let's renegotiate every year and complain about the price, and then we'll make an agreement. So I don't get it. But then again, they kind of act irrationally with these kind of situations, so I'm not really surprised.
Did you see Orton's comments about the suspension on Twitter?
To not believe everything you read.
Not believe everything you read and just praying for a heel turn when he comes back.
I like him as that face. I don't know.
I think he definitely enjoys being a heel more, but why would they give him what he wants after he's just been suspended and cost him everything?
Right. If anything, they'll use him as a babyface to get over the people like Del Rio and any of the other heels that don't necessarily have something to do, but they could just beat Orton and it makes him more legitimate. That's what I would do.
And I feel like he was doing that all last year, doing what was right by the company, and then he just does this, so it's not going to get him anywhere.
Right. There's a little bit of talk that maybe he had a tainted supplement as opposed to that he necessarily was just taking it and hoping it gets away with it. But then again, just as Orton says you can't believe everything you read, I wouldn't believe that either because that seems a little bit suspicious that Orton would just it was tainted, like somebody set me up, like that kind of a thing. But more than likely, Orton just didn't have a prescription for something that he took, and now it's the 60 days. He's going to lose a lot of money from it. They'll be pissed off. When 60 days comes up, they'll want Orton back, and they'll end up pushing him.
Yeah, there's no way they'll keep him out of SummerSlam. SummerSlam is what separates that from about 200,000 to 300,000 on the paycheck. There's no way they'll keep him out of SummerSlam
Right. They'll need to use him against Jericho or something like that.
if he's around.
Yeah. Somebody being kept off TV on top of Orton is Abraham Washington. They started this whole all world enterprises thing, but then they went to all world productions, and then they went to absolutely nothing. Now, apparently, they don't even want to have Abraham Washington's stable, whatever you want to call it, on TV at all anymore. They're getting rid of the entire thing. It didn't start, and they're already finishing it. So I don't understand the point in this. They spent about 4 weeks where they were building up this idea that Epico and Primo were going to cash in their tag title rematches whenever it was the right opportunity, and it doesn't seem like that's ever going to come. uh, I didn't like Washington a whole lot when he was doing the fake, uh, like talk show hosting in ECW, but I thought he had some potential as a manager. And now that they're bringing him back as a manager, I thought that that was actually a pretty decent role for him. But it doesn't seem to have a purpose to it if they're not going to ever put him on TV. So I don't know what they're doing here. Maybe his contract is coming up and they are just going to release him, so they had to get rid of the storyline as well because you can't do that revolving around anybody but Abraham Washington. Or maybe they're going to release all the people that Washington was supposed to be teamed up with, Epico Primo, Rosa, and Mason Ryan. Or maybe they just changed their mind. I don't know. But what do you think about this? Were you looking forward to that, or were you just kind of meh, don't care?
I actually wanted to see where it was going to go. I'd like to see what a stable like that would have been, because Epico and Primo were decent in the ring. It was just no personality. They brought nothing except for Rosa, which is nice to look at, but not much of a talker.
Right.
I wanted to see where it was going to go. If it was his contract that was coming up, why would they even have started it?
Yeah.
But maybe they are just going to go a different route and start releasing the other wrestlers. I mean, Mason Ryan is not going to work. That's not going to work out.
Well, he'll work out. He just won't be wrestling.
How did he get popped for steroids and Mason Ryan?
That's what it did. They switched up the sheet. It was supposed to say Mason Ryan on it, and you know. Well, that's it for the hot tags. We're gonna go into the tournament finally on round two, starting in the next part, and then we'll round it all out with TNA predictions about the Hall of Fame that they're gonna do, which is hilarious, and Slammiversary.